Elon Musk said, sleep is weakness, exhaustion is hustle. We're not listening to none of that. CDC found that 35% of Americans are getting less than 7 hours of sleep. What are the consequences of that? 200% risk increase in depression, 50% risk increase in heart attacks, 68% risk increase in weight gain. You are not tired, you're probably broken. And the scary part is a lot of y'all think it's normal. A lot of y'all think it's normal not to sleep through the night, not to sleep 6, 8 hours. Like a lot of y'all think it's just normal because like it's just what you have been used to. Like this looks the facts. 1 in 3 adults are not sleeping appropriately. 1 in 3 adults are not sleeping appropriately. And it's not like you're not just like groggy, you're not just tired. You don't just need a pick me up in the morning, like some coffee or whatever to get you through the day. Like, no, like you are actively going against what your body is trying to get to. Your body's trying to get to a point where it can sleep, it can relax. We talk about this all the time, right? Whether it be a diet, whether it be exercise, you all need rest. And in the ultimate form of rest, aka sleeping, a lot of y'all aren't doing that correctly. So you aren't doing it correctly when it comes to the diet. You aren't doing it correctly when it comes to exercise. And you definitely aren't doing it correctly when we talk about rest, when it comes to actually sleeping, right? Today, we're going to talk about it, right? Today, I'm going to show you exactly what sleep deprivation is, like how to recognize it. More importantly, we're going to give some tips on how to like get over the hump of being sleep deprived. A lot of y'all are sleep deprived. And we talk about, you know, on our episode, on our show, we talk about sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a big topic on our show. And the amount of people who talk about the fact that once they got their CPAP machine, they didn't realize how much sleep they weren't getting. They didn't realize how tired they weren't getting. Obviously, this conversation is not about sleep apnea, but it's in general, right? A lot of y'all sleep deprived. We're going to talk about how poor sleep health has continued to affect yourself, right? I am yours truly, Dr. Barry Pierre, board certified internist, host of Medicine Mondays, as well as the author of Your Health, Your Choice, Your Future, available now. And we got to have this conversation about sleep deprivation. And I can tell you, right? Like it's not. I know a lot of people think it's a luxury to sleep. Like, have you ever heard that before? Put in the comments if you have, right? If you heard that it's a luxury to get a good night's sleep, right? Like, I need to be in a right bed, right situation, no noise. Like, for them, it's a luxury because they understand, especially those who get good sleep, understand what it's like not to get good sleep. And for a lot of people, you have been so conditioned to not getting good sleep that you're just like okay with it. Like, you know, I don't get sleep. I don't sleep well. I might sleep a couple hours. Yeah, I'm still tired, but like I gotta do it, right? No, we're gonna stop that today, right? So let's talk about right some issues that I want to talk about as far as more importantly, how one bad night's sleep destroys your body, the number one mistake keeping you awake. Right. Definitely want to stay tuned for that. And the science behind having good sleep rest that maybe you should be able to implement like tonight, like not maybe next week, like tonight. Number one, like a science-backed sleep rest routine that I want to get you right. I want to get you guys reset. I want to reset your mindset when it comes to getting good sleep, being sleep deprived. I want to reset that mindset and get you guys to where you need to be. All right, so in the next few minutes, I want to break down a couple things, right? I want to break down what sleep deprivation is, right? What is it actually doing to the hormones in your body that's causing you to not sleep, which affecting not only your sleep, right? You're affecting your heart, your brain, the whole body. Why just sleeping more isn't the answer. A lot of y'all think that like, oh, if I got 4 hours instead of 2 hours, if I got 6 hours instead of 4 hours, if I got 8 hours instead of 6, I'd be okay. Not the case. 5 mistakes that you are doing probably right now that's keeping you awake. 5 mistakes that you are probably doing right now that is keeping you awake, and we're gonna break that. And then we're gonna discuss a little protocol, right? That I think is gonna be simple that you can be able to like inject into your sleep routine today, right? Yes, we are talking sleep routine because again, you can eat how you're supposed to eat. You can exercise how you're supposed to exercise. If you're not getting that rest and sleep, none of that matters. None of that matters. Nothing is not going to be consistent enough for you to get to where you need to get to, which is your optimal healthy self. You're not going to get there if sleep is not a part of it. Like, trust me. let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? The inability to sleep well, right, is engineered, right? The inability, like, to not get a good night's sleep, like, it's not by accident, right? Like, there are things that you do, things that have been done to you, that have been ingrained in your life and your lifestyle, that's causing you not to get the adequate sleep that you're going to get, right? We're going to talk about a few of these things today, right? So one of these things at hand, right? One of these things, right? Like, I'm a big, obviously, like, a lot of us have this, right? A lot of this have some type of device, right? That is designed to keep us up at night. And there are applications on said device that is designed to keep us up at night. So much so that there are now applications that are designed to block the applications that are designed to keep. Like, think about this, right? There's a whole industry that is designed to keep you glued to your phone, your device, your iPad, your computer, whatever the thing is. There's a whole industry associated with that, and which affects your sleep. So much so that now there's an industry that is literally working overtime to block that other industry and hopefully get you some free time, time back at work, some productivity, some sleep. Like there's a reason why there's a do not disturb function, because you guys are being disturbed 24/7 without it. A lot of y'all are so scared to even put a do not disturb on because of the fear that I may miss out on something. Like, that doesn't happen overnight, y'all. That is by design. It's by design that there's an innate fear that I may miss something, so I need to keep all of these things that are keeping me up, like near me, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna talk about that, right? Like, again, phones, but sleep is wakeness, exhaustion is hustle. This was said by the richest man in the world right now. I think Elon Musk said, sleep is weakness, exhaustion is hustle. We're not listening to none of that, right? We're not listening to none of that crazy talk. Sleep is definitely not weakness, right? So y'all know I like my numbers. Y'all know I like my numbers. My numbers help put a nice little bow about what I'm talking about, because a lot of times, especially when we're talking about medicine, when we're talking about health, a lot of times you guys may not understand, like, the severity of it, right? Until I say a number like, CDC found that 35% of Americans are getting less than 7 hours of sleep. Are you in that 35%? Put it in the comments. Make sure when you put in the comments, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, right? We need those subscribers, notifications. Y'all have been absolutely amazing. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, right? Make sure you're subscribed. That's over 100 million people. Over 100 million people get less than 7 hours of sleep. And what are the consequences of that? 200% risk increase in depression, 50% risk increase in heart attacks, 68% risk increase in weight gain. Cognitive decline is as equivalent as you being drunk when you're not getting enough sleep. Your immune system in the pits when you're not getting enough sleep. So this is not a like, oh, just because I'm not getting enough sleep, everything's okay. No, this is serious medical issues that we see. And that's why when I talk to our patients who are hypertensive, diabetic, like, they got some issues, right? And we ask about their sleep, right? That they're always so shocked. Like, why do you care about my sleep? I'm trying to get my blood pressure taken care of. I'm trying to get my weight down. And they're like, you're asking me about sleep, because that is how important sleep is. One study from University of Pennsylvania showed that sleep loss impairs your immune system as much as it is when you catch the flu. I mean, we can stop right there, y'all. Like, if y'all don't think sleep is important, after this video, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably never going to give sleep the credit it is, right? But, like, sleep loss impairs your immune response as much as catching the flu. What does that mean? You got to catch your sleep, right? So what are the issues, right? Again, we talked about long-term damage associated with sleep, right? Like, because I think this is important. When we think about the long-term issues associated with sleep, chronic sleep deprivation ages your brain. Chronic sleep deprivation. Y'all are getting older mentally when you don't get sleep, right? Like, you think that cup of joe that you get in the morning is enough, right, to get you about today. No, you are getting older, slower mentally, day by day by day, week by week. Remember, this is a marathon. A lot of y'all have been doing the wrong things for a long time. A long time. Chronic sleep deprivation ages the brain. Metabolism is broken. changes your hunger hormones. That's why, right? That's why you're always hungry, right? Because the hormones that control your hunger, right, can't get regulated because you're not getting enough sleep. I want you to think about that. Like, you not getting enough sleep, your hormones that regulate your hunger, right? Like, say, hey, you know what? Since she's out of whack, go get something to eat out, eat crazy, eat too much, gain the weight, more depressed, right? Like, you see how this cycle starts happening, right? It's a problem when you guys aren't getting enough sleep. Right. And I know you guys hear 7 hours, like, oh my God, what do you mean 7 hours? I can't get 7 hours. Or again, right? Just like sleep deprivation, right? Like it is what it is, right? Most people don't realize they're sleep deprived until they finally sleep well, right? Those are my sleep apnea patients, right? Not saying everyone has sleep apnea, right? Where I make sure I stress that, because I don't want y'all to be like in my comments, oh my God, Dr. Pierre said I have sleep apnea. No, I did not say that. I just said a lot of y'all sleep deprived. Like, because that just is what it is, right? And mind you, I'm talking as a person with experience, right? Like, I didn't realize, like, mind you, I get a good night's sleep. I'm pretty well rested, right? But then when I did my little steps, right, like, I was positive, right, for sleep apnea, right? When I tell you the sleep that I get when I'm on my CPAP machine is so much better than the sleep that I get when I can't, run and get my, like, for some reason, my CPAP machine here, I fall, like, for some reason, if when I'm sleeping on that CPAP machine, much better sleep than anything else. Much better sleep. Not even close, right? Not even close, right? Let me stop playing, y'all. Like, stop playing the games here, right? So understand that, again, when we have an issue that is underlying, which is like being sleep deprived, other issues will follow, right? Like, other issues will follow. So I think that's why it's so important for us when we're trying to get a fact as far as, what is the sleep deprivation and what it does to us, right? Understand, like, this is where it's important, right? And again, I like this factor here, right? Like, especially when we talk about, the science behind, sleep apnea, not sleep apnea. Now I got sleep apnea in my brain, sleep deprivation, right? So this is a big thing, right? So during the day, your brain accumulates metabolic waste, right? So during the brain, your brain is just picking up this waste, right? Where, like, again, it's firing on all cylinders, but it's just picking up waste that it needs to almost like kind of detoxify. During sleep, your brain shrinks about 25%. This space creates space between the cells, CSF, that washes out the garbage, right? So you literally get a detoxification cleanse when you go to sleep. So guess what happens if you can't go to sleep, y'all? Right? Like, makes sense, right? You've got this built up in the brain that's been building up because your mind is firing on 1,000,000 miles a minute. And when you go to sleep, brain shrinks a little bit. You know what? The toxins kind of detoxify, right? They get liquefied away, right? But you cannot do that if you're not getting adequate sleep, or if you're getting a short period of sleep, right? So now those things just build up, right? When you don't sleep, this doesn't happen. Garbage accumulates. Y'all know how garbage, like, if you miss, y'all know 2 days a week, y'all got to take out the trash. 2 days a week, y'all got to take out the trash. But if y'all miss one of those days, that second day, right, all of a sudden that trash is just piling, right? It don't take very long. It don't take, even though it could be like I think our trash goes out Tuesdays and Fridays, right? Tuesdays and Fridays. If I miss a Tuesday, that Friday, man, that trash is just piling. Like, I could barely put the bags in there. So think about your brain, right? You miss one day, and all of a sudden that garbage is just piling up. You're slow, you're sluggish, you're not yourself. Like, that is what happens, y'all. Like, this is what I want us to get to. I want us to get to where we need to get to, right? This is the game plan at hand, right? We have to understand this is what we have to deal with, right? When we talk about this aspect of not getting enough sleep, right? Like, again, just so, shout out to the garbage man, right? Shout out to the garbage man, right? Let's talk about the hormone aspects associated with, right? When you don't sleep, your hormones go haywire. And we kind of talked about this, right? Cortisol levels, ghrelin levels, that's our hunger hormones, testosterone. Shout out to the men. I know y'all love talking about y'all testosterone. Y'all love y'all testosterone, right? Women too, right? But like, definitely the men. Again, 1 week of poor sleep drops testosterone levels as much as 10 years of aging. 1 week of poor sleep drops your testosterone levels as if you had 10 years of aging. Get your sleep. For women, irregular sleep wrecks hormone balance, periods, and mood. Get y'all sleep, ladies. Ladies, get y'all sleep. Ladies, get y'all sleep, right? It's a problem. Growth hormone publics. This is what repairs your muscles, burns fat, rebuilds your body. Again, remember, you're dieting, right? You're trying to exercise, but you're not sleeping appropriately, right? Like, again, our body is a well-tuned machine when we act like it's a well-tuned machine. We can't act like, all right, one machine is working fine, but the other parts I'm going to ignore, right? I'm going to do well with the diet. I'm going to do well with the exercise. I'm going to do poor with the sleep, right? Because guess what's going to happen? Then I'm not going to do well with the diet. Then I'm not going to do well with the exercise. And then I'm not going to do well with the sleep, right? So then it becomes this cycle, right, that we got to break, right? So understand melatonin again, right? Y'all know the sleep hormones make it harder to fall asleep if you're not getting to sleep, right? And this is a big thing, right? And now people, I don't know if people realize this. Blue lights and the screens actually suppress melatonin, right? So a lot of people, like when they're falling asleep, like they either you had to sleep in a dark room, right, or a night light that's way on the other corner, but a different light, right? So, and man, remember, think about our cell phones, right? That's why our cell phones be right. That's why our cell phones wake us up, right? Because all of a sudden you get that light, and all of a sudden you're awake, right? Like, so understand that, like, yes, hormones can definitely be affected when you aren't getting appropriate sleep, right? So it's not just a one size fit all, right? Like there's some cognitive issues associated with sleep, right? We talked about this, right? You get slower, dumb, right? We gave our garbage takeout example, right? One more thing, your brain literally does not work when you're sleep deprived. Obviously, studies from Harvard show that after one sleepless night, your cognitive function declines as if you had 3 to 4 drinks. That's just one sleepless night. I was in college, y'all. There was I'm almost sure they still got it, right? There was a medication called like no-dose or something like that, right? That again, I got to study, right? You know, I'm trying to be a doctor, right? I'm studying, right? I'm like, hey, doc, I cannot go to sleep tonight. I got to study throughout the night. I took that no-dose, boy, I was up, like, and no, not only was I was up, like there was not a hint. Like I gotta see if no-dose is still around. It was just like big caffeine pills. There was a hint of being fatigued. And I studied. I was sharp. Boop, 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 boop. Like, because I'm not a big coffee drinker, right? So the no-dose killed it. Did great on the test. When I tell you, let's say that test was Thursday. When I tell you Friday, I just crashed. I just flat out crash sleep. I didn't even realize I was asleep. You know, one of those sleeps where you sleep and you wake up and you're like, what time is it? Right, I might have been watching TV, and it wasn't one of those like I'm falling asleep, then I'm gonna go to bed. No, I was just watching TV. I thought I was blinking. Closed my eyes, and it was like 10 hours later. I was like, what is happening here, right? So, like, yeah. You mess around, have a sleepless night, it could be just that bad. 2 nights, your reaction time is equivalent to being on sedatives. 1 week of being behind on your sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the part that does the planning, impulse control, emotional regulation, is basically offline. Like it's like, all right, I'm checking out. Like I don't know what Barry's doing. He's not getting appropriate sleep. I'm not getting appropriate sleep. We're gonna clock out. We're clocking out of here, right? You eat worse, you spend more money stupidly, you pick fights, you're so moody. Like all these things happen when you don't sleep, right? I tell my wife all the time. I can tell when my wife don't get a great night's sleep because she just her mood level is just like. Same thing for my kids too, right? When my kids don't get their sleep, like my son, when he like plays around, he want to watch TV in the middle of the night, we can tell in the morning. Like it's that boy is different. In the morning, right? So it is understand, right? Like, yes, it is a problem, right? And of course, obviously your immune system obviously get affected. We talked about like, having poor sleep, right? Makes your immune system to the point where like you caught the cold, right? Sleep is when your body fights infection, remembers vaccines, consolidates immune memory, right? You don't get that. Guess what? All those memory systems now, right? Your cytokine production, right? 1 night of poor sleep, your cytokine production drops by 50%. 50%, y'all. That means you're half equipped to fight your normal infections, after a poor night's sleep, right? A week, you're susceptible to everything. Everything will get you, right? Everything will get you, right? At the time I'm recording this, hantavirus is a big conversation right now. At the time I'm recording this, right? I can assure you, those folks, you want to get your sleep for the hantavirus. You want to make sure, I don't want nobody to get hantavirus, but you don't want to be the ones who are ill prepared because you didn't get your sleep, right? So that is the issue at hand. And again, right, remember, right, if this is scary to y'all, right, if this is fearful to y'all, especially because a lot of y'all will relate to not getting enough sleep, right, understand, right, like fear is the motivator, right? Like, again, when it comes to health, like, again, and we talked about this, I think, the last episode. Like, yeah, I could tell you about all of the good things that will happen when you get good sleep and whatnot, but now I got to tell you the bad things. You guys are more likely to run away from the bad things than to run towards the good stuff, right? Like marketing, we talk about this all the time, right? And remember, right, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you hit that like button on this video. Hit the like button on this video. Comment what's been keeping you awake. see we can do what we do, man. Like that's the gameplay, right? Remember, like, comment, share. Like, comment, share. That's the gameplay, right? So let's talk about these myths, y'all. Let's talk about the myths that have been keeping y'all from sleeping appropriately that you need to sleep, right? You can catch up to your sleep on the weekends. How many people have heard that? Like, oh my God, I'll just catch it up on the weekends. Like, yeah, I'm not sleeping Monday through Friday, but on the weekends, I got it. On the weekends, y'all know how I'm gonna do, right? No, that don't work. Sleep debt is cumulative, right? It doesn't reverse, right? Like it just because you didn't get a good night's sleep for 3 days, don't mean you could catch up on the weekend. Like, nah, that thing builds up. Remember if you don't remember anything, remember my trash can example, right? Like I didn't take the trash out on Tuesday. By the time Friday come around, those bags are so piling up, right? That's what y'all doing. Those bags are so piling up that I can't even fit enough bags in the garbage can no more because it's so full, right? Because those are essentially like that's the trash that's supposed to be taken out Tuesday plus the trash that would have been taken out Friday, right? The trash that's not even there yet. It's so full. So y'all are waiting till the weekend. And so you're leaving the trash from Tuesday, leaving the trash from Friday, hoping that Saturday they come around. They don't come on Saturdays, right? They do not come on Saturdays, right? The garbage man will say, I'm going to see, I don't care that you missed this week. I'm going to see you on Tuesday. Number 2, melatonin supplements will help. Nope. It can't help your sleep if all of these other issues that we talked about are affecting your sleep. It can't do that. It can't. If your foundation is bad when it comes to sleep, melatonin ain't gonna do nothing for you, right? And then alcohol helps you sleep. I don't know why that's even a thing. Alcohol, it's a sedative, right? So yeah, you might feel tired, but your sleep quality is typically poor, right? You typically have very poor sleep quality when you're drunk, right? For my alcohol, like, hopefully you're not drinking. Hopefully you're not drinking to sleep, right? Hopefully you're not drinking to sleep, right? You sleep shallower. You don't get into that deep sleep that you need to get into to really reset things around. You never get to that point when you're sleeping, and you feel terrible the next day, right? And you just need to relax more. People will tell you like, oh my God, you're just so stressed. That's why you're not sleeping. No, not the case. Not the case. It's just that I need to, stop playing games and get to what I need to get to, right? Like I need to stop playing games, right, and sleep appropriately. I need to stop playing games and implement some of the things that we're going to talk about today, right? So let's talk about the sleep reset that I want you guys to kind of enact today. We're going to reset our sleep protocol, especially if we got bad ones. We're going to reset our sleep protocol to hopefully get to sleep. So 5-step sleep protocol, right? Like number 1, right? Because this number 1, right? The step 1 is to kind of help fix the rhythm of your sleep, right? Like again, your body. We all talk about an internal clock that we all have, right? Your body has an internal clock, whether it be daytime, nighttime. For my daytime workers, of course, nighttime is when your body feels tired. For my nighttime workers, daytime is when your body feels tired, right? So we have to recognize that clock. And we have to be consistent with that clock, right? Like we can't one day go to sleep at 10 o'clock, next day go to sleep at 11, next day go to sleep at 12, next day. Like, no, your body's like, hold on, I'm trying to get a pattern here. And you're not letting me get my pattern down, guy. Like you gotta have a set. Like, all right, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. 11 o'clock. I'm going to bed. Right? Like you gotta have a pattern appropriate to make sure that the sleep is available. Right? So same wake time every single day. Right? Your sunlight, whatever the thing is. Like you gotta have a process down so that you are sticking to the set. Because that is what it is. Right? So number 2, right? Let's removing our sleep saboteurs, right? So we're going to get rid of the things that cause us not to sleep. What do y'all think those are? What do y'all think are you back? In fact, put in the comments, right? That's some of your biggest sleep saboteurs that are keeping you up at night, right? For a lot of y'all know exactly what it is. Y'all know y'all know exactly what it is, right? No screens, right? Like you need to establish a time where, hey, you know what? I'm not going to look at the screen. Like that screen is over there. I'm keeping that screen over there. Your TVs. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I sleep with my TV on. Right? Like, stop it. Right? Like you got to figure out a way, right? So that the light, the sound, like again, you got to figure out a way so that the things that are affecting your sleep, which is usually this, right, is not a factor, right? Like, it's a great things like again, and some people are like, I saw somebody say like, oh, maybe I'll read a book. Yeah, read a book. I'd rather you read a book because that light ain't gonna be shining in your eye unless it's like one of those Kindles, right? These are some steps too. I like no caffeine after a certain time frame, right? So understanding no caffeine after a certain time frame. Typically, we're eating dinner. A lot of times, right, you want to give yourself some space between the time you eat, especially that dinner, and then your bedtime, right? Give yourself some time. Obviously, no alcohol, right? No alcohol, right? And exercise, right? I know a lot of people like to work out. At the end of the day, right? If you work out at the end of the day, again, it's all about buffer times, right? And if you give yourself the appropriate buffer time and then you set yourself on the appropriate schedule, I'm not saying you can't work out at night. I'm saying, hey, work out at night, have a time where your body can decompress and then go to bed. Because like all of the hormones that like shoot up through the roof when you guys are working out is not going to let you just go fall asleep, right? Unless you're overworking yourself. And if so, go listen to the last episode about overworking yourself. So understand like that is what it is, right? So that's step number 2, right? The biggest thing, right? I think, and I like this one, right? Optimize your sleep environment. Yes, optimize your sleep environment. That's appropriate temperature. Whether you're blacking out some blinds. I'm a big silence person. Some people like to do white noise, making sure your bed and your mattress and your pillows comfortable. And I'm a big thing, right, where the biggest thing I've had to tell my patients is a lot of times our body doesn't even recognize that when I go to bed, I should be going to sleep. Because you guys go to bed, you guys eat in the bed, you guys go to bed, you guys watch TV in the bed, you guys go to bed, you guys are doing work in your bed, you guys are going to bed doing everything but actually going to bed and sleeping, right? Like you guys are doing everything but actually sleeping. How is your body supposed to know, like, oh, when he's in bed, when I'm in bed, right? Right, when she's in bed, like she actually wants to sleep. Your body doesn't know that because you're doing all these things else. So establish a framework where when you are going to the bed, it's because you're going to sleep. Like establish that process that your body starts recognizing. Oh, she's hit the bed. Oh, let's shut it down. Let's shut it down. It's about to bed. It's about to go down because she's going to sleep, right? But a lot of y'all are not doing that, right? So again, reduce these things that you do in your bed. Make your bed your own sanctuary when it comes to sleeping, right? Like a lot of y'all are not doing that. Number 4, and I talked about this, the wind down routine, right? I think is extremely important. For a lot of people, usually about an hour or 2 before bedtime. Again, you should have a process that gets you ready for the sleep, right? Again, a lot of y'all are just trying to like fall asleep by accident. Like I'm gonna just work, and then if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. I'm gonna watch this game, and again, I'm not saying you can't watch a game or watch a sporting event, but like there has to be some process where consistently you are getting the sleep you need to get to, right? Again, it's all about consistency, right? When you need to get to where you need to get to, right? So again, having a wind down routine, whether it be dimming your lights, reducing that stimulation, that's mean no TV, no phones, no electronics, do not disturb. Do something relaxing, reading, journaling, actually talking with your family, right? I know if you've got a family, right? But if you got a family, right, talk to them, right? Some breathing exercises, right? You can go on YouTube and find a whole bunch of breathing exercises for y'all, right? If I find something, I'll put in this. If I find a nice little episode, I'll throw it in the comments as well too, right? So that's what it is, right? And this is a big one, right? If for some reason you get to the bed and you're in bed, you did all the things you need to do from 1 to 4, and you're in bed and it's about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you still haven't slept yet, get out of the bed. Get out of the bed, right? Get your brain saying, hey, since you won't let me go to sleep, let me walk around a little bit. Let me try to reset, right? And then go back, right? And go back to bed. I don't want you sitting in bed for an hour, like not realizing like, all right, the sleep is not coming in. But the problem, now your brain has kind of trained itself to say, oh, you know what? She actually has no problem just sitting in bed, right? Without sleeping. No. We want your brain to know that when it's bedtime, it is bedtime. Let me get my bed. Right. Go to another room, do something quiet, just do something, right? Especially a lot of y'all are thinkers, right? So a lot of y'all are thinking about a whole bunch of different things when you should be focusing on sleeping, right? I want y'all to sleep, right? It is what I want y'all to get y'all sleep. So again, here's our challenge. We got to the challenge part, right? Before we get up out of here. Try this for 7 days, 7-day challenge, right? Not 30 days, 7 days. I want y'all to get your sleep. Same wake time. Make sure, again, especially for my daytime folks, getting your sunlight where it needs to get to, no screens after 8. You dimming your lights by 7. That's for your first couple of nights, right? And then you're just optimizing your environment, your temperature, your pillows. You're getting your body ready for the process, right? Like this is all a process. This is all in your process of getting sleep. We're gonna do that for the first 2 nights. Nights 3 and 4, you're getting your wind down routine on board, right? Whether it be 30 minutes before bed, you're doing your no caffeine, no alcohol, right? You're getting your routine down. And if you don't get to sleep in 20 minutes, you get up out the bed, you go to relax, you go to decompress, you go watch one of those breathing exercise videos, right? You do like you get relaxed out of bed. So by the time you get to bed, it's just bedtime. Nights 5 through 7, you do it all together, right? Nights 5 through 7, right? You just put it all together, right? Get your sleeping right. Consistency. That's the name of the game, y'all. That's the name of the game, right? If you want to, sleep well and not have all of these negative issues that are associated with poor sleep, especially over long periods of time, right? It starts today. Like it starts today. Like it don't start tomorrow. It starts today, tonight, right? Depending wherever you're watching or listening to this tonight, I need you to implement these things ASAP to get your body right, to get your sleep right. Because again, I don't want you to have to deal with increased depression, being sicker. I don't want you to have to deal with all these things here, right? Because you're not letting your body get the sleep that it needs to get to because you told yourself it's not important. Because if you don't get nothing from today's episode, understand that sleep is extremely, extremely important for your livelihood. Diet don't mean nothing if you ain't sleeping right. Exercising ain't mean nothing if you're not sleeping right. You got to get your sleep. Extremely, extremely important. Right? Again, I'm here truly, Dr. Barry Pierre, host of Medicine Mondays. I'm going to see you guys next week.